Hello and welcome to the Calmcast, a time to feel calm and think clearly. I'm Claire Downham, the Queen of Calm, a transformational life coach. I was a burnt out head teacher who finally made the journey to calm after years of trying, and I want to prevent you from having to do the same. The Calmcast is a series of short explorations, gently guiding you back to your natural state, which is calm and clarity. Just listen like you would listen to music, with an open mind and curiosity. There's nothing else to do. Now let's relax into today's episode. So, this exploration today is around judgment, and it really is a sharing from the heart of something which is just unfolding in me really at the moment. And that is the seeing of judgment as a catalyst, as a spark. Perhaps spark's not quite the right word because it's not something particularly joyous, but it's that catalyst that takes us away from calm, from the seeing of our own well-being, from clarity, and fills our heads with noise. And as I'm saying that, I'm seeing it really in that space, that as we judge, there is more thought. And as our head fills with thought, we tend to move further and further away from feeling calm, thinking clearly, having peace of mind. And the place where judgment for many of us comes up the most is in fact in ourselves. You may have noticed that. Like I like everybody else, can be judgmental of the world around me and the people in it. And that too takes us away from calm. Seeing that something in our life is wrong, seeing that someone in our life is doing wrong, that too takes us away from calm, because again, it fills our head with a lot of noise. I mean, in the simplest terms, the circumstances and people in our lives are as they are. And many a time we judge something that's already happened. There's no space for anybody to do anything about it anyway. But also, in that wrongification of things, we do disconnect ourselves, take ourselves away from calm. And there is something around seeing that what is what is. Someone is who they are. Someone behaves the way they are. The circumstances in life are the way they are. And we think we're feeling them, but we're feeling our judgment of them. But I'd like to pop that judgment of the outside world to one side for a moment, because actually it's the judgment of ourselves that I think is causing the most suffering. And that's just an opinion really, but in the conversations that I have, in the people that I connect with, it is judgment that is continually filling their heads with the noise that takes them away from seeing that they're okay. And it goes a little bit like this. There's a person who's done something in life that they perhaps aren't particularly happy about. And then there's the judging that that's wrong. And then there's the judging that I shouldn't really be judging myself. And then there's layer upon layer of that. And then we start to feel uncomfortable, and there's a judging that the feeling we've got isn't right either. And then there's some thinking about that. And I would love to hear from you if you are hearing in this a pattern that you can recognize. At some point in society, we have reached a place where we are judging things inside ourselves as not being okay. Like the demonization of feelings has become something that we see as normal, I think. But I love to talk about how toddlers are with this. Like if you spend a short time with a toddler, especially, a rising 2-year-old, we've all heard of the terrible twos, haven't we? That they will flow between one feeling state and the next and the next and the next, and they really don't care that they are angry one moment and happy the next and sad the next and frustrated the next, and something's not working out for them one minute and then it's fine the next. And they flow between those states. And the reason they flow, and if you try and have a conversation with a 2-year-old about how they behaved and the feeling state they were in earlier today, you will get nothing back, because they literally can't remember. We can, can't we? We can remember being riled up about something. We can remember getting angry. And I think part of the reason we don't let go of that is because we've judged it in some way. So it hangs around a lot longer. How many times have you got upset about something and later that day you're still thinking, oh, I shouldn't have really got upset about that. Imagine how much space there would be in your head if you didn't care 2 hoots that you'd got upset. What if you didn't care that you sometimes felt fearful and anxious? What if it didn't matter that you are grieving in some way and going through a process with that in your own time? What if you didn't see that you should have got further down a particular line of an emotional journey and you haven't got that far? And this is why I see judgment as a catalyst, because if you could feel that feeling and just be fine with it, if you could have that thought that's not really the one you want to have and accept it, if you could behave in ways that perhaps are not how you'd prefer to behave, but you were okay with it, and you were not judging yourself as being wrong, what there would be, it would be space. There would be space. Without that judgment, there'd be less on your mind. And what I'm seeing more and more is that with that space, there comes, we enter, I think, our zone of genius, if that's a thing. We enter a space of connection to the energy of life that has so much to give us. That which provides everything, insight and wisdom and love for ourselves and everything else. Judgment is a catalyst that takes us away from that. And this is not the offer of a course in how not to be judgmental. I read a book once about that. I can't remember what it was called. This is about just knowing what that is. It's that same energy of thought again. And when you can just bring some awareness to that, some noticing to that, it is profound what you are then able to let go of, just in the knowing that you're doing it, just in the noticing, just in the watching out for it. But then, of course, not in the judging that the judgmental thoughts are wrong. Just noticing it. Oh, there I go again, judging myself. That's it. Just in that awareness, in that moment, it's like you've just made it fizzle away. Imagine a world without judgment, without that catalyst sparking off all that thinking. Wouldn't that be amazing? And as always, the invitation is not to go around trying to remove judgmental thoughts from your head, but it is in awareness and acceptance and curiosity about this amazing being that you are and how things are folding out inside you. Thank you so much for listening. There's nothing to do now but bring some awareness to how this is working out in your life. Listen regularly to experience longer and longer periods of calm. This has been the Calmcast with Claire Downham, Queen of Calm. Take care and keep listening.